You aren't using Breach right, and in today's video, I will be showing you exactly how you can change this. Welcome to another Modix guide. If you want to improve your Valorant skill, then consider subscribing because over 98% of you aren't, and on this channel, we break down every single agent in Valorant and give you the most high quality, up-to-date tips. Now, one of the biggest ways you can improve is by studying your own gameplay and analyzing your mistakes. Luckily, the program Lowkey GG has you covered. And even though this video is sponsored by them, I have been using the program for the past couple of weeks and have seen tremendous improvement just by studying a bit of gameplay. If you want to go ahead and try it out yourself, it will be the top link in the description. Now let's go ahead and jump right into the actual tips. So when it comes to Breach, there aren't a lot of players that have actually unlocked his full potential. You can easily find tips and tricks videos for every other agent, but not many for Breach. This is why I have put together 5 of the best tips you need to be using in your future games. One problem that I commonly see is that many players only use Breach defensively or offensively, but never both. Players need to understand that Breach is one of those agents that is great for both. So for our first tip in this video, it's to play off of your abilities fast. Breach's abilities are unlike most agents because they go away so fast. When playing Breach, it's a good idea to understand how long each of his abilities last for. For starters, Breach's main entry ability is Flashpoint, and this ability will flash any opponents looking at it for only 2 seconds. So whether you're using this ability to push onto sight or you just want to flash your opponents before getting the kill, you have to move pretty fast so that the effect doesn't wear off. Breach also has the ability Fault Line. If any player is hit by this ability, they will experience a 3-second daze. During this time, they will not only have disoriented vision, but they will hear a ringing sound and have a lowered firing rate. Once again, you don't want to use this ability too far away from your opponent because it only lasts for 3 seconds. Breach already has 2 super strong abilities to help teams push and execute onto sites, but his ultimate ability essentially creates a third. This ability is called Rolling Thunder, and it's basically a bigger version of Fault Line with an added effect that knocks back players. We have 2 crazy tips regarding this ability later in this video, so be sure to keep watching. But anyways, Breach's ultimate will have effects on players lasting up to 6 seconds. So whenever you're using these abilities, you need to keep in mind that the effects on other players don't really last all that long. So you really need to have a plan before using them and execute as fast as possible. Once you play Breach a lot, you will find the perfect rhythm and get loads of kills. So keeping on the topic of abilities, our next tip is to use Breach's abilities with each other to create some pretty easy situations to pick up kills. Breach's abilities are much different from any other agent in the fact that the players can either take the ability to the face and die due to Breach peeking them, or they can try to dodge the ability and die to Breach already holding the angle. This basically means that if the Breach plays the situation correctly, then the other players should die. Sometimes this can happen if Breach only uses one ability, but just imagine if players decided they wanted to combine abilities. So let me go ahead and give you an in-game example of this. Let's say you know a player is sitting in Hookah on Bind. You're able to first enter with a flash to completely blind the enemy player. Then, once they are blind, you can place down an aftershock that will either force the player to move or take a ton of damage. They will only know that it's there if they can see it. So with them being blind, they will have a very small time frame to react. And while all the abilities are going off, you can just position yourself in a spot to just watch it happen, or you can kill them once they try to dodge the aftershock. It's really as simple as that. And this can be done on both offense and defense, so don't worry, we're still sticking with the idea that Breach is awesome on both sides of the spike. For our third tip, we have an execute that will help your team push out of Hookah on B site on Bind. So what I like to do is just clear out the left side of Hookah by using our aftershock ability. So I'm looking at the minimap right now and I'm lining it up to make sure that I'm getting most of this side. So once I do this, I'm gonna go ahead and flash right over here, and then all I have to do is check behind that box, but we have to move quickly. We have to get back of labs, and then it is as easy as that. A free plant to go ahead and get this spike down so that we have the ability to win this round. And then what I would do after this, since it is planted right there, I mean, you could come sit here. You just have to be aware of labs because that's where many players will come from, and then also corner at the same time. So if you want a better plant, you might just plant over here, but you guys know where you like to plant. So this will allow you guys to push onto site. I definitely would recommend having a different player carry the spike and you just be in charge of flashing and getting you guys there. So once again, you're going to aftershock this ability. You're flashing right over there to clear out site. You only have to check right back in this area, and then you just have to flash back a labs as well. So that is our third tips. Now let's go ahead and get right into our fourth one. So our next two tips will both be concerning Breach's ultimate ability, Rolling Thunder. Many players just use this ability to stun their opponents, but what they don't know is that you're able to do a lot more with it. Our fourth tip on this video is to use Breach's ultimate to stop any action that has to do with the spike. So this could mean planting the spike or just trying to defuse it. We see this strategy happen a lot with Brimstone players just ulting on top of the spike, but you can do the same thing with Breach. So to perform this tip, all you have to do is plant the spike and then hide so that the other team thinks that you're saving and go to defuse the spike. This strategy often works best when the clock is ticking to get the spike down or defused. Then you just have to use your ultimate on the site and it will knock back players, stopping any progress with the spike and making them start over. Not only will this allow you to win the round, but if you're on offense, you can also break the other team's economy a bit by making them die to the spike going off. This is a very situational tip, but if you can get the hang of it, you will be able to clutch so many more rounds. And if you like that tip, then you will love our final tip for this video, because while using Breach's ultimate, you are able to completely disregard Sage's wall. Yeah, I know that might sound a little weird, but just hear me out. We all hate it whenever Sage just walls on defense and it stops the push of a lifetime. But if you pop Breach's ultimate and then jump right when it's going off, you can get an additional boost that can propel you over Sage's wall, just like you're seeing in the clip right now. Now, this does take a bit of practice, but eventually you'll be able to push sites even better with your ult and piss off a ton of players. Just make sure that other players aren't holding you from a location that doesn't get hit by the ultimate. Well, we just went through 5 Breach tips and tricks that will have you playing Breach like the pros. If you want to see more content like this, then be sure to subscribe with notifications on, because on this channel, we are breaking down every agent and giving you the best tips and tricks you need to know. Lastly, let me know in the comments what agent I should break down next. We are already in the works on a Viper tips and tricks video, so keep on the lookout for that. And on the screen right now, you guys are seeing 2 videos that you need to watch in order to get better at Valorant. Thank you so much for watching all the way through this video, and I'll see you in the next one.